Okay. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Welcome everyone to the G-Lew Show After Hours Live. Sorry, we a couple minutes late. I had a couple technical difficulties here, but welcome everyone to the show. Tonight we have a very, very, very special guest. She's gonna be talking about designs and fashion and all type of shit I like. You know what I mean? Especially young ladies doing their thing like this and bringing fashion awareness because some of you ladies need some fashion in your life. So we're gonna have a special guest tonight. She's gonna be coming up right after this. Let's get it started. Welcome again to the G-Lew Show After Hours Live with your host G-Lew. Shout out to our producer DD Hairston, and we'll be right back. Yeah, we are back. Welcome to After Hours Live with G-Lew. Shout out to Elliot Delgado out there, James Wells, everyone in the chat. Like I said, hold on one second. Without any further ado, we have a very special guest. Miss Deandra Chanelle Designs is here. Hold on one second. Okay. Yeah, we just had a couple difficulties. Okay, let me see. Where am I? Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. What up, everyone? Welcome to the show. I am G-Lew. Like I said, tonight we have a very special guest, and she is here backstage. I don't want to hold her anymore.
Hey, how's it going?
Give you a warm welcome. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing great. Sorry for the delay. We had some technical difficulties here. I didn't mean to hold you like that.
Good, you are okay.
Okay, but while we're here, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone? Let them know who we got in the building tonight, please.
So I am Deandra Chanelle. I am out of Los Angeles, California. And I have been in the fashion industry for about 18 years now. I started like real young. I started when I was like 19. And I don't know if you remember the BB stores.
Yes, I do. BB, yeah, that was very
So
popular.
I was a BB girl for a couple of years, and I worked at the location in Hollywood. So that's where I kind of started to learn my whole stylist stuff. I used to dress Christina Milian, Brooke Hogan, a couple of ladies from the local news out here in LA.
Right.
So that was a real fun experience for me.
Right. So, I mean, how do you get introduced to these? Like by working in BB, then you get introduced to some of these people. How does that work? Where you their stylist or
Guys,
dressing them?
this journey happened.
Yeah.
So I was in the retail world for maybe about 4 or 5 years, and I left. I was like, I wanted a career. I wanted a career that was going to be steady, where I didn't have to worry about like a paycheck constantly. So I started working for the government.
Oh wow. Okay. Oh wow.
I've been there 15 years.
Wow. Okay.
So I started my business about 7 years ago. I just had like a little online boutique, and I was successful from the start, like the first like 2 years, and then right before COVID, business just kind of like went downhill. So I would quit, and then I got back in it again. And every time I would try to quit, my heart was like, I don't know why I want to go back to this. Why do I keep going back into fashion? It ain't working for you. I had my first fashion show in 2018. Literally 20 people. I spent like $4,000 on designs, the location, food, everything. And I had a 20 people turnout. I was like, okay, whatever. These 20 people are about to see what I got.
Right.
And so even after that, I quit again. And one day I get a call from my girlfriend, and she's like, hey, they're looking for someone to be in a music video. And the guy wants someone who is Black but Hispanic. I'm like, okay, I'm both. So I was like, all right, that's cool. So I reach out to the lady, and she puts me in this video. So right after that video was done, I decided to the man who put me in the video. His name is Elon, by the way. I don't. Do you remember that song, Rock and Roll Gangster?
Yeah, that's the same Elon.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
that's one of my favorite songs. Shout out to Elon.
He put me in his video for Night Owl. And
Wow.
he had a performance out here for DJ Scratch, because it was DJ Scratch's birthday. He's a radio DJ out for Old School 104.7.
Right.
And so he had a birthday, and I'm like, I'm gonna go support them both because I'm cool with Scratch, and I already worked with Elon, so I went and I met my very first artist there. So I met my artist there, and we decided to work together. And after I started working with her, like, they just started coming.
So like, is that something though that you're like prepared for? Because like you said, you just went from one client, maybe two, to, like you said, they start coming now.
Yes.
Do you embrace that, or are you overwhelmed?
I embrace it. You know what? I've been building this for 7 years.
Right.
So I have enough product and things to be able to accommodate to my clients. And
right.
The female clients. The male clients, I've learned very quickly how to work with them as well.
Okay, well, let's break that down. Because how do you do that? You just do that on as you go, or like how? Because if you're used to working with women, or that's what you know how to do, and suddenly you get guy customers, how do you?
Would it be real?
How does that work?
I was scared out of my mind my very first male client. Scared like no other. I knew what to do. I didn't know where to start.
Right.
So I said, okay, what are we doing? How do we do this? One of my clients said, hey, I need you to style. Like, I would like for you to style my boyfriend. And I'm like, oh, I don't work with men. I don't know what to tell you. Right. But in my head, I'm like, you know what you're doing. It's just a different type of body. That's all you have to do. You know where to go. You know where to find the stuff. Just go. And I did that. So we ended up doing a performance for him. And then we did a music video for him. And it worked out just fine. So now that I have got my foot in the door with that, now that I know what I'm doing, there's no.
Right. So you knew, because look, how do you know too? Because I always wondered this, even with stylists and things of that nature, because I don't know, this is off top. I don't know the same thing, but most artists and things, I'm in the music business, and artists, they get stylists, and stuff, and they dress them and all that. And sometimes it's like, I don't know. So how do you know how to style a certain artist or person to their liking, or are you just going off what you want to do? Like, how does that combine and make it work? Sometimes you just dress them and that may not be it, So
here is my thing. You know how you just know you have a calling?
Right.
So when you know you have that calling, it comes easy to you.
Okay.
What I've learned over the years in retail, because I'm a bling queen. I'm the kind of girl that I like everything blinged out. Not everybody else does.
Right.
So I look at
everything blinged out. Your phone got the bling case and all that.
All that. I mean, come on now.
Right, okay. All right.
So the thing is, I look at my client. I observe it. I observe them, him or her, and I look at their overall style and I just enhance it. I don't change much about it.
Okay, got you.
For example, my very first client, Elvia Cadena, she's a Latin soul artist. So she's very pin-up-y, very old school 50s. And I just kind of took it a little bit to the next level. Like I may give her, stuff that fit her curves a little bit more. I added like jewelry to it. I went ahead and I had her do her hair a specific way, because I knew for some reason, I like all of my female clients to be sexy. However, I understand that not everybody is the sexy type of client.
Right.
So far, thank the Lord, I have been lucky enough to have clients that trust me.
Okay.
And it's worked out for them. Like, you can see the transition. Their style was already good before I got to them. However, I feel like it helps take them to another level of where they want to be.
Right. Do you ever get like requests? And then I want to ask a question someone asked. Do you ever get requests for someone to like you said, you may check their style out and see what they do, and then you add to it? Do you ever get some people that want you to, like, they're telling you to make them, like, I don't like what I'm doing, I want you to put your what do you call that? Your splat, your whatever on me, and I'm changing.
He was trying to change his image because he's a rapper
Right.
in the 90s, and so he was used to the old, like the gangster look, like just real gangster.
Right.
Okay, I can suit you up and put you more like on a grown man, I guess, aesthetic, and I just need you to trust me.
Because I get that, and I'm glad you said that, because like I'm not gonna say one, like I'm kind of old schoolish too, right? When it comes to certain things. And with the new looks and all that, I wasn't like a fan of all the new stuff. I don't want to be the hella jeans and all that. So I understand, but how do you bridge that to make one comfortable enough to meet them halfway or such?
Okay.
Just like you said, you did that for him.
Here is the thing: the artists that I work with, they're in my element already.
Okay.
So, because I grew up in Boyle Heights, so
Right.
I was used to like the whole like cholo chola thing.
Right. Because you're from Norwalk, I seen, right? Originally.
I know I'm originally from Boyle Heights. I live in Norwalk.
Boyle Heights. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
I
You know what's up.
I know the whole culture. I've been there since I was 13.
Okay.
So all my friends, boyfriends, whatever the case,
Right.
I grew up in that. So
Right.
I understand that their style it's a little bit different than mine. Like, I'm very aware that their style is a little bit different than mine. However, I want, my goal is to make them comfortable. So
Right.
all I want to do is, hey, let's go from here to here. That's more my thing, because they all say the same thing. They want to excel to not lose their audience, but still be able to open themselves up to a bigger audience.
Right.
That's basically what I want to do.
Right. I agree with that totally, because like I said, it's hard for to go all the way. You know what I mean? So it's good to have someone that understands that. So I appreciate that. Let me take a question. Someone asked, Elia Delgado asked me to ask you, does she make her own clothes?
I do.
All right.
I do. If you go on my Instagram, I have, like, there's a dress that I make. I base my designs on fabric.
Okay.
So I don't have the design in my head. I go to the fabric store, I see a fabric that I like, and I base my design off of the fabric.
Wow. Let me ask you, what drove you? I don't know if you kind of answer this, but what drove you like to fashion? So obviously you like fashion. You probably were always fly and all that and cute, but what drove you to say, "Oh, hey, I want to get into fashion"? And then, like, she even asked, "Make your own clothes." Like,
I was a weirdo.
Okay.
When remember where I grew up. So
Right.
I liked the style, but I knew that was not me.
Right.
And one thing I don't like to do is play dress up. I feel like it's very disrespectful to that culture, or any culture as a whole, when you try to mimic something that you are not a part of.
Right. Hold on. Let me. I'm sorry to cut you off. Let me ask you this briefly. Growing up in Boyle Heights, I didn't ask you this. Were you? Because you said you're a weirdo. Were you? How was it for you? Because you're obviously mixed, right?
Yeah.
You look black. In Boyle Heights. I grew up in not far from there, so I know. But how was that for you growing up there, being a little bit different?
It wasn't as bad as you would think. I had like the little comments here and there every so often, but because I grew up there and my grandmother lived there for many years before I was born, I already had like that family.
Right.
Gotcha. Who we were, so we didn't really have problems like that.
Okay.
Never. Like, if anything, everything was real welcome. I grew up on 4th and Clarence, so right before you hit to downtown, I grew up in those projects there. So everything was very much like a family. And obviously, when we're going to school, you run into the same people.
Right. Dope. And like I said, I just curious, you know what I mean? And I think that's dope, actually. So yeah, speaking on you going into fashion, and I also read in your bio that, even though you were working and doing your thing, your biggest regret was not getting into it earlier or driving yourself to do it because you were scared or held back. Can you speak on that?
I wanted stability. I've always been the girl who this has to be like this has to be like that. I have to have stability. I need to know that I'll be okay.
Right.
So fashion is not I'm going to be
I ain't gonna
okay.
be paying the bills for sure and all that right now.
And
Got
to be quite honest with you, I did not know that fashion was my passion because when I worked in retail, I worked for somebody else and it would get on my nerves. I didn't like listening to other people.
right.
So when they would tell me, oh, put a shoe with this or do this, I'm like, I don't want to do this. What I need to put a shoe with? She didn't come in for a shoe, she came in for a dress. But now that I have my own, I totally understand all that. Like, BB was what made me who I am.
Right.
They showed me how to, like, when I send my stuff to my clients, I package the way they used to.
Mm.
I package the way they used to. I set things up the way they used to. Like they opened the door. Like when I was in my early 20s, I was around during that the beginning of the Kardashians.
Right.
So yes, Marciano,
Right.
all those retailers. So I was like the last of the we're going to dress up to go out.
Right.
generation.
Right. You know, it's crazy. I had a ex relationship I was in years ago, and she loved this chick, the girl I was with. She loved BB. Like that was her spot. You know what I mean? To go to the mall and go to BB's. You know,
I
she got
I
me
find
something from me one time. I know that's more of a female, but I think she got me a nice jacket or something out of there. Um, but that was her spot though, BB's.
yeah, no,
And the
that
Kardashians too. She loved all that shit too.
it was the aesthetic of femininity. I've always
Right.
liked retailers where I feel like a woman, where I could
Right.
wear dresses and like jewel it up. Like those retailers are really hard to find now.
Right. What do you think about that too? How where retail like has gone, like everything with fashion, especially
Absolutely,
since the pandemic, but everything is gone. It's like,
yeah. It's horrible. So my business started to go under when Fashion Nova got big.
wow.
I had been doing plus size since 2015.
Right.
And nobody was really catering to the plus size curvy girl back then. And I made sure that my stuff, because my sister was a bigger girl, so I would go to her to ask her. Like I knew what was sexy and what wasn't, but I looked at the curvy girl as if they were a size small to large. So whatever it was, like say there was like a crop top, that a halter crop top with like little shorts, I'm getting that in 1 to 3X too.
Right.
I'm not thinking like, oh, she's gonna be insecure about this. She's gonna be upset about her role. I didn't care because I felt like women were women. So when I went to my sister, she's like, big girls don't like this, or big girls can't do this. It's not that they don't like it; they want to, but they can't. But now we're in a time where uh, curvy girls are okay with all of
Right.
it.
Right.
So now that I'm able to,
Kirby is in now, right? I
yeah,
know one time Kirby wasn't in. I mean, it was in for but overall it was not. The skinny like thing. But now curve is a thing, right?
yeah.
People want to be curvy. That's why, yeah.
And it's easy. Like again, I've been doing this for a very long time, so it was always easy for me to dress my clients. If anything, like my sister was my mannequin. Like
Right.
when I was working for BB, my sister was real insecure. Like she was, oh, I'm too big, this and that. When I was working at BB, I would pull stuff and take it to her and have her wear it when she would go out.
Right. Right. Wow. Speaking on fashion too, once you got into fashion, like I heard you speak a lot, like Kim Kardashian, these people that were into fashion. I guess when you were looking at it from a different view and angle, but once you got into it and now you're looking for designs and even making your own clothes, who are some of the designers or people in that world that you look up to or admire or realize now that you respect them and see what, once you know about this game more?
I like dramatic designers. So Bob Mackie, a designer from the 70s. That dude, when I tell you his stuff is everything. And Angel Brinks.
Okay.
Angel Brinks right now is my top designer that I look up to because she's a real big risk taker, and she's very feminine, but she knows how to incorporate that with the new fashion of today that I haven't mastered yet.
Right.
That's my thing. So I learn a lot from her when I look at her stuff. Um, Also, the owner of BB, like I still look to him for like the stuff. I'll be honest with you, they have fallen off quite a bit, but I go back to the old stuff when I
Right.
was, you know, working there. That
Right.
really, I don't know if you can see behind me. This is a jumpsuit.
Right. I see it. Yeah. But that's what the stuff, they type of stuff they had. I remember like the color, all that type of.
Oh, that color scheme, and that's another thing that I do too.
Right.
When I do studios and or I work or consign in other stores, I like stores that are color coordinated. I feel like that's real important.
Right. Right. When you do now, when you do look up your stuff or look for stuff you want to do or incorporate into your new stuff, do you like, how do you go about, how do you keep up with what's going on, or do you try to keep up, or do you
No, I do
have a
not.
certain thing you do and just like, how does that work?
My thing is, I know that that may make or break me, but originality is what's gonna get you where you want to go. I don't believe in following that aesthetic. Like me myself, and I don't knock anybody who likes being simple. I cannot do simple. There's no possible way that I can do simple. I always find a way to kind of like pizzazz it out. I can't. It's ingenuine to me. I've noticed that when I would design or purchase things for clients and it wasn't to my liking, I wouldn't push it. You can't push something that you don't believe in.
Right, right, right. What, and let me ask you this: you spoke on stuff like Fashion Nova earlier, right? Who has taken over as a big thing online and all that. What do people think, like you and other retail, like what do they think of Fashion Nova personally?
I can't tell you about other retailers. I personally think fast fashion is tragic. I the,
I get it, because I'm not even into fashion like that, but I seen that when it started. I'm like, wow, but it took off though. Like, and now you have models and people that sponsor. Like,
I think the business part of it with Fashion Nova is absolutely innovative and I love it. But I don't like what they've done to the fashion world.
right,
I do not like it. I don't like the fact that women don't feel like themselves anymore. Everybody is a copy and paste, a copy and paste, a copy and paste of each other. Fashion wasn't like that before. Everybody had their own individual style. And
that's everything now, right? I mean, that's from to the music. I'm in the music. That's in the music industry. Everything is the same. So I guess it goes to fat. Like, yeah, it is in fashion. Everyone looks the same. Like,
yeah, and honestly,
like there's no originality with people. Like, everyone looks the same.
for the
Sounds
young
the same.
teenage girls, that's okay. You want to be trendy as a teenager, maybe in your early 20s. But once you start hitting my
Yeah.
age,
Yes.
and it's just like, as I'm reading the comments, it's very wasteful. It is like, how many pairs of leggings can you have? How many crop tops and shorts can you have?
That's my thing you said right there. That was so important. I get it, because that's what I said about the fashion. I don't agree with all the fashion, right? The guys wear today, right? But I could give a pass to the youngsters, the young kids and the teenagers, because that's their thing. They made this fashion, what they're doing. But when I see someone my age or older, sometimes looking like a little kid, because I'm obviously trying to keep up too much with the fashion, I don't like it. I'm just keeping it real.
I'll be honest, I think that's why my calling was to start with styling in the world that I'm in, the Latin soul, the oldies, and all that stuff. Because
Right,
it gives I feel like I'm an old soul regardless.
right,
So it allows me to be able to still stay in my element
right.
because
I get it.
everything is super old school. Everything that I've ever loved, the lowrider cars, the style, the
Right.
jewelry, all that stuff.
I love that, because I seen even in your bio, that's what you said. You really love funk the most, and
Yeah, I
I forgot
love.
what band you said, but some of my favorites as well. So it was like, wow, yeah, I respect it.
Yeah,
Um,
my bio on my Instagram says your local hood glam plug.
local hood glam thug.
But
Wow.
no plug, like
Oh,
your
plug. Oh, plug. I said, I was like, thug. Okay,
and
local glam. Okay, hood plug.
I've been doing in with my client base right now is enhancing it just a bit. Like I think keeping them authentic, but just adding a little bit more glam to it. Because I feel like this world, the women are very glamorous in their way. Like they always have their makeup done. They're always accessorizing. Like it's a unique culture and a unique world. I love it.
Right. Do you plan to like because you're based out of LA, do you like see like do you want to take this thing on the road, like become global, national? Like where do you want to? Oh, you do. So you're not afraid of the bright lights and big stages, right? You ready to take it?
My
ready to go to New York, fashion show, and all that.
Something in Miami.
Okay. You know what? Too, I was gonna ask you. I know you from LA and all that, and born bred, but you got a Miami type vibe too. I can see you doing your thing in Miami. Seriously. Heard that before?
Yeah, I've always heard that I come off more like an East Coast girl.
Yeah. But once I'm talking to you, telling me your background, I already know, like you said, the whole Royal Heights thing. But I mean, from afar, you could, pass for like a Caribbean girl or something, you know what I mean, in Miami or down there. But you plan on going to Miami, right?
Is my family, my grandmother's from Colombia.
Okay. Got you.
But the thing is, Miami felt like home to me. I vacationed a few places, but Miami always calls me.
So you like Miami? Okay.
Miami, but not for. We all know that the running joke about anytime you go on vacation, it's more than Miami, but it's more of the again the fashion world. The fashion world is great out there.
So you're saying Miami is bigger like than the New York thing now? Because I know New York was the original fashion, but it's like that in Miami now too.
New York, they have their different aesthetics, and I respect them both equally. New York is more like layer on top of layer on top of layer, like high fashion.
Right.
And Miami is more of a cool, calm, collective, vibrant style, right. And that's more me. But right. That high end part is what I love about New York. And if I can just combine the two together, that would be great.
So I heard you talk about Miami. Could you see yourself in New York too, or is that too much? Because like you just said, New York is a lot. I've said that I'm cool on New York, but could you see yourself in New York too?
I always said that I wanted to open 3 studios. I always knew where I wanted to open up. I wanted to do Melrose. I wanted to do Miami, like in the heart on Ocean, and then right. I wanted to do Soho.
Okay. In these times though, like where do you see the future though? Because like, I mean, it's always gonna be there, but like you just said with the rise of Fashion Nova and and less retail out there because online is so many things going on. Where do you see the future? How does it look as far as fashion and where they're located and how all that works?
Greatly, because a lot of the musicians now, like the City Girls and Corey Lay and all of them, they're becoming very much what I tried to start way back when, which is very high fashion, blinked out stuff like that. Little by little, it's going to get there. Okay. I think the fashion world is going to be just fine. I think it will return to what it was at some point.
Right. And do you think like kind of piggybacking off of that, like what COVID and I don't want to say that word, but the pandemic did, how it shifted so many things. So you do see things coming back, or do you see them going? Because like a lot of things changed after that.
Bigger than ever.
Okay.
I do, at least in the fashion world. I do feel like it opened doors for people to take more risk, a lot more risk than what they did before.
Okay. And where do you see what do you think the future is for fashion on the as far as like where it's going, like new looks? Do you see new designers? Of course, people like yourself coming in, but do you see it taking a new direction opposed to what the old? Because sometimes you have these old designers and people who've been in forever and they run the game. Like, how does that work in fashion? Like, do you see a new thing coming, or how does that even work? Are there gatekeepers in fashion? Like, how does that shit work? I don't know.
No, there is no gatekeepers in fashion. Like all the like again for me it hurts because all the old school designers that were around, with the exception of the Chanel's, the Versace's,
Right.
that the the high fashion world is changing. I do see that like Versace and Gucci, they are now catering more to the rappers,
Right. Right. Right.
which is good because it's good for the culture. It's good to be able to open doors for black and brown celebrities and otherwise to show people, middle class people of color, that you can do this. You can purchase this. You can design. You can do this. However, the only thing that I do not like, and I've never liked this, um, is the repeated words and letters.
Hmm.
The LV, 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 LV. The
Right. Right.
which I cannot do that. But to each his own.
Right.
I do like the fact though that the high end designers are catering more to color. I love that.
Right. Right. How is that like? Even being in LA and like Hollywood and stuff, are they welcoming to like to you or people of color or black or brown? Like when you go to these places, or even when you're trying to get a place there, a shop or whatever, how does that work? How are you treated in that space?
I'll be honest with you. I think that they are very open to it because it's profitable.
Okay.
They
It's all about
understand
the money.
this is a
If it can
trend,
make some money, we good. Yeah, it's all about the money.
which it's not, but which they don't understand that it's not. But because it's a trend right now to be, you know, down with people of color,
Right.
they're going to accept it because the money is going to be good. And they
Right.
understand that now people of color are now understanding that being your own boss is the way to go.
Right.
So
Right.
not turn down money
Right.
at all.
That's dope. How do you now that you're doing this, do you how can I say this? Like, do you find yourself, or do you want to somehow in the future or even now, like give back in a way where you can show other young black or brown women how they can get into this or how they can start or
I
whatever?
do that now.
Okay,
Like
that's what I'm saying. I
they'll
don't know.
ask me, like girls ask me how to get into it, and some people will gatekeep, and that annoys me to no end. There's room for everyone to grow and be successful. There's no need to sit back and try to hold on to something that you can give people of the younger generation or even of your own. Some people
Right.
start late. I didn't start taking off until my late 30s.
Right. How did let me ask you this. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead. You're fine.
I want to ask you, how did your family react to what you wanted to do? Because like you said, you know you wanted to do this, you started working for the government, and you were, of course, you knew you had your money set and all this.
Yeah.
Jumping in here not only independently or wanting to do it yourself, but how did your family take to that? Did they say you're crazy? What are you doing?
You know, my mom told me a long time ago, and I didn't listen to her because I was scared of taking the risk. And she told me, you don't need college for everything.
Wow.
Because I went straight to college right after high school. I couldn't even imagine a life without that stability.
Right.
But I do believe that opened the door for me to make the money to be able to invest in what I do now. So it helped in some way. But no, my mom from the gate told me you don't have to go to college for everything. But at the time, I swore up and down I wanted to be in law enforcement. I wanted to be a probation officer. You can tell me otherwise.
Oh wow. Oh yeah. Why do you want to be? I don't know. This is off topic. Why do you want to be a probation officer?
For stupid reasons at the time.
Oh, okay. I got it. That's why I asked, because I'm like, that was kind of I had a reason, right? Like, why would she want to be of all? You know what I mean? Got you.
The truth? I can tell you the truth.
Okay, go ahead. It's up to you. I don't want to, okay.
I was in junior high school, first year of high school, and there was this boy I absolutely loved to death.
Okay.
He was CYA.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh my God, I want to help people like him. I ended up getting a whole career, and I didn't care for it.
Right.
It was nothing. It was not for me. I don't like telling people what to do. I don't like babysitting people, telling them how to do what it is that they need to do with their lives. Like, it's not for me. I will help people in a different way. My calling has always been to help.
Get into it and just decided no, or what? You tried it or what?
I tried the whole government route. I'm still there. I've been
Okay, got you now. Because when you told me earlier you work with government, I didn't know to what extent. So I got it now.
My my degree and my career have nothing to do with each other.
Okay.
So my career, I've been there for 15 years. And the more that time goes on, the more I realize this ain't for me.
Right.
These are grown adults. These are adults that know what they need to do with their lives and with their kids. I am not here to babysit you. However, it's helped me along the way. Patience.
Well, hold on. Let me ask you this: whatever happened? I just got to go back to this. To the guy you initially, the little homie that was in CYA or whatever. Whatever happened with him?
He's married with 3 kids.
Oh wow. Okay.
Every so often, from time to time, it was popping. How you doing this and that? Wow. But he ended up making a good life for himself and his family.
Okay, well that's good. That's good then. That's good. Did you ever credit him, or he credit you like you say? You know, like you're the reason I got into this shit.
I care about this man.
Okay.
He doesn't even know that I started a career.
Okay, got you. So we probably giving him too much right now. Okay, we'll move on. Patio politics. What up? So so what was the first, like, when you told me earlier when you started, you knew you were on once you did a couple clients and whatever, it kicked off. But when did it actually like start? Because you're a woman about stability, right?
Yeah.
When did you know? Okay, I'm good now. I think
still not good.
Okay, got you.
I still don't know.
Got you.
I'll be honest. When you know what your calling is, sometimes you don't figure it out until you're much older. So there was always something that drew my attention to certain things. Like as a kid, when my mom would dress me in certain things, I'd obsess over it. Like till this day. What year was it? 93. My mom bought me like these little like stretch shorts and this little stretch crop top.
Right.
And it had like it was like a blue, red, and green like little stones across the chest. I never forgot those stones. I never forgot that outfit. There was this little flower dress that I had when I was in kindergarten. I never forgot that outfit.
Wow, from kindergarten?
So wow. I always like subconsciously there was always something there, but I just never paid attention to it until I was older.
Right. Wow, that's pretty dope. What? Because as far as the culture thing, and I know you make clothes. I'm asking this because this is going into your fashion thing. Do you incorporate all of like what you said you love into how you make your clothes, or do you go?
Yes.
Okay, break that down.
To me, at least for women, femininity is everything to me. I totally am for women feeling sexy. So when I make stuff, I make sure that I make stuff to where all women are going to be comfortable in it, regardless of size.
Right. That's dope. And what's been the like even the feedback from your clothing, say like when new people, because even people on here have already went on your website, I think, and said they like what they see. But what's been the feedback? Do you take feedback and go like, is that what makes you create more, or do you still do your own thing, and or do you try to get feedback from the people, or what?
But normally as years have gone on, I've realized that being organic is what makes it work. Because I've had girls, like when my business was going under, one of my girlfriends was like, oh, well, you can't always get the things that you like. You have to cater to things that other people like. So I gave it a shot, and it worked temporarily. But what has me where I'm at is being organic to myself. So my clients that I have now, they respect my vision and they understand it. and I will never ever put them in a position to feel like they can't give me feedback on what they want, because ultimately they're my client.
Right. That's pretty
But
dope.
what I have done, for example, I have so I just came out with this line called Bandana Boulevard on my website. And basically it's all
Like,
bandana stuff. It's the halter tops, the purses, some cute dresses, bikinis, things like that. Because again, I want to cater to my audience.
right.
I know it. I've been in it, but I'm not going to pretend to be somebody that I'm not. So, but I do also want to cater to them.
Right. Two-part. Oh, well, let me add this. A lot of people keep saying they love your glasses. Everyone's saying they like your.
You can find them on the website.
Okay, you can actually buy those. See, everyone that likes her glasses, you can buy your own pair on her website.
Yeah, they're on the website, and they come in different colors. You can just pick the color you want. I can ship it out within like a day or two.
Okay, Marcy said, "Are you love her her accent, face purple, white eyes? Are you What is that? See the comments?
I'm gonna. I'll assume that that's
I guess he's trying to ask what's your. She's mixed. What is she's trying to ask? What are you?
I'm a technicality. So grandma. So this is the history. Anybody, I've had many people ask me this, so hopefully this stops the questions. Grandma is from Cartagena, Colombia.
Okay.
Grandpa is from the United States. Grandma and grandpa. Grandma was living in Colombia. Grandpa was in the minor Negro leagues.
Oh wow!
He went to play in Colombia. They meet. They have a kid.
Wow.
And that's how that works. So I'm kind of like a watered down Colombian, because I'm like second generation American.
Wow, that's dope. So do you get to go to? What do you think? You get to go visit Colombia?
When I had the opportunity to go as a kid, my mom said hell no, because at the time there was a war, the guerrilla in Colombia when I was a kid, and my mom was like, "You ain't going." So I never got the opportunity to go, but I still would love to go, because I still have family out there.
Exactly, and let me ask you this, kind of piggyback off what your mom said, but you being Colombian, and like you said, were you ever like? I'm sure you've seen, being that's part of your history. You go and look at the history of Colombia and everything. There's a lot of bad, but it's a lot of good and all that. What did you think as a kid, or even like
about
what
the
you've
Colombian culture?
seen? Yeah, like as a whole about Colombia.
I took what I wanted out of it. First of all, anytime I would meet people, it was always very much, "Oh, so where are you from?" And I tell them, "Oh, where they make the Coke."
Right.
Well, if you want to look at it as, that's fine. But what I've learned about the culture is that the women are extremely strong. The women of that culture. Yeah. I had a friend of mine. We had a conversation. She's from Barranquilla, which is like right next to Cartagena, and she's an older lady, probably like at the time like in her 40s and 50s. And she told me, she's like, "I want to be a single mom." I looked at her. I've always wanted to be like married with kids and all that stuff. Like that's always the thing.
I want to be a single mom.
Right. Wow. She's like, I wanted to be a single mom. I didn't want to have to answer to anyone. Any Colombian women that I know, they are okay on their own, and it doesn't bother them that they're on their own.
So why do you think that is, though?
I don't know. Because I was that way too. My grandmother was very independent. She didn't care for nothing. Like when I grew up watching my mom, like when we moved, there was no men to help us move. Everything was packed, the heavy furniture, we carried it on our own. Like that was just the thing. Would I want that for the rest of my life? Absolutely not. I do want, a man, a husband that we can work together. However, when it comes to entrepreneurial stuff, when it comes to holding my own, if I'm single, I am okay. Right. I don't need to, oh my God, where am I going to get my next meal from? What am I going to do? I need him. I don't need nothing. I need me.
And you know what? I'm glad we got into that, because that's a little off topic. But let me ask you this, since you said that, like, I was going to ask you first, how is it for someone like you that's very independent, very self-made, and, you always had a good job, and, you're good, right? being independent, how does that work for, especially nowadays? It's a lot different where women are kind of taking that bigger role. Where women, a lot of women are more successful than your average guy these days, or make more money. All that. How does that work for women now, single independent women, when they are not necessarily looking for a man, but considering a man, and even out there dating and dealing with all these men? Because men scandalous these days. Women scandalous too, but it's a lot. Out here it's different these days.
Okay, so with me, I've always dated Mexican men, always.
Okay.
And they are providers. So with certain relationships, it was a problem because my ex-husband was very supportive of me and my dreams.
Right.
However, he did want to be the primary breadwinner. The whole quit your job after I had a baby was not an option.
Right.
You couldn't pay me to do it, and I'm glad I did it because I'm divorced. But I have had other past partners that were supportive but intimidated by
your problem
success.
Right.
And I always date older, so they all have the same mind frame for the most part of, I want to be able to take care of my woman. However, I do know that it's very possible to find a man that will support my dreams and still be a provider. That's very possible. And
I
wouldn't settle until I found that.
Right, and I respect that. I definitely respect that. But when do we say, okay, like, you won't settle until you get that? How do you know when you will you ever get that? Or do you get to a point where you're not worried about it? If it happens type, or what?
I know I will. When I try to pick wisely. Every partner that I've ever had has always been independent in his own right and very sweet and generous at the same time. So if I date, and it's not like a money thing where, he has to take me out, no. It's a thing where when we start talking, we develop a connection, and the first thing that he does is, you know what? Do you want to go here this weekend? That's how I'll know automatically.
Right.
Because today's man is great. What do you want to do? You want to kick it? No. Kick it where, sir?
I've heard other girls say that too. Like, that's all. Yeah, they don't want to just kick it. Like, what are we kicking?
Man, get the hell out of my face.
Right. Wow.
But that's the thing. I feel like it's not impossible. It's very much equal give and take. I want one of those relationships, and I feel like everyone should have a relationship like that, where you want a partner who holds their own, like they have their passion, you have yours, and you guys come together and you support each other, and it's not a thing of competition. You don't have to, she makes more than me, he makes more than me. If you're living a dream, the money has nothing to do with it. It's helpful, but you're doing it because you love it.
Right.
So if people looked at it like that, there'd be no problem.
Right. That's dope. So you do think it's a chance? Well, you said you will find.
Oh yeah, I am.
That's dope.
He's out there.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Do you? Okay, well, let me ask you this too. Do you get people, like, how do you differentiate, even when, like, say with a man or a friend, anyone, when, like, how do you know people are genuine or not? Even from that part,
with experience and time. I've had situations where I've had friends that I thought were the greatest friends on the planet, and they did me as dirty as your biggest enemy. Right. And then I've had other people that I would have even expected to be there, supportive, loving, and everything, like practically strangers, and they're there. So you can't tell. It just, time will tell.
Right. And are you open to, like, 'cause some people, like, not cut it off, but just like, I ain't even trying to find new friend, or like, deal with people because you put a wall up, or you just don't trust anymore. Like, are you still open,
to friendships and relationships? I'm very open to them.
Friendships and all that, yeah.
I'm very open to new everything, new friendships, new relationships.
But you get what I'm saying, though, right?
Am I a little more cautious? Yes.
Okay.
Like, you can't just jump in it. However, I'm very open to new things. Like, you don't blame someone from your past, and you don't block a blessing for your future.
Preach.
That's where people screw up. Is say for example, you and you have let's just say a friendship. We won't even talk about relationships. A friendship where somebody did you so wrong that you didn't even know what to do with yourself. You're not gonna block your blessing by saying, I'm not gonna trust nobody. Because as this person that screwed you over is living their life and enjoying the new friendships that they develop, you're sitting here looking bitter.
Right.
And and then you're losing out on great opportunities to meet new people just because of a person who has a character flaw. There's
Right. That's dope. The dope what you said, the blocking blessings. A lot of times we do that and block our own blessings and stand in our own way of a lot of things. We're all guilty of it. And sometimes we are guilty of just, like you said, not open to new things or new people because, certain things, and sometimes we can be blocking our own blessing. Because
right.
one person you meet can change your whole life. You just don't even know it yet.
But not even for the benefit of somebody changing your life. It's just to be able to have a genuine connection with people in general.
Right.
Just to be able to feel comfortable and be in a nice space.
Right. And even when I said change life, I don't mean in a way because it's not about someone can't change your life and it's not about handouts, but just meeting someone that has the information or learning to that something you learn from someone, you know what I mean, that can change you or whatever the case.
But even a friendship that brings you peace. Yeah. A friendship where you guys can go and have like a good lunch and laugh and not worry about like the dramatics of it. Like that in itself is a blessing.
Right. That's a fact.
Especially with people who are always busy, entrepreneurial people. Sometimes they just want to take that load off and just have that conversation and laugh for like an hour and then get back to work.
Right. Let me ask you this: I know you said it earlier, but I kind of want to piggyback, like where you want to take your brand. You obviously said you want 3 stores. I think you said one in Soho, Melrose, and Ocean Drive, in Miami. Say even with those goals and things you want to do, how do you get, or are you fully prepared? Like, we want these things, but are you ready for that and take it even further? Like, if it blows up, you're going global. Like, what do you see from that? You ready for all that?
Yeah, I want it. I've been working too hard. I've been in total in the fashion world for 18 years.
Oh, wow.
When are you, at what point are you ready?
Wow.
It's like saying that you want to get married, but I don't know if I'm ready for marriage yet after being with somebody for 20 years. When are you ready?
Right. Okay. Let me ask you this too, because you said you've been almost 20 years. As far as the fashion world, I see that thing. Well, of course, you always have your main brands, right? Always. Mm-hmm. But we see people like that start lines, and I've seen it with fashion with celebrities or whoever that starts lines, clothing lines, and they are real big. They blow up, and then maybe they especially ARCA stuff, people of color that have made things. They come, they're kind of popular for a season or two or years, and then they fade away because people move on, and then the brand. I don't know, how does that work with the fashions? I see that a lot, but I see a lot of the main names stay, but a lot of stuff comes and goes.
Well, you have to open yourself to a big audience. You can't just, like, during the time when you had like the hip hop moguls that were starting their brands, the Rockawayers, the Sean Johns, and they kind of just, it was good for a few years and then it just faded away. You have to extend your audience. You have to try new things. You can't just stay with the same stuff over and over and over. One of the people, because I know you had asked me once or earlier in the interview about one of the people, the designers that inspire me. Who inspires me like crazy is Dapper Dan.
Dapper Dan, what you know about him?
I watched a documentary on hip hop and fashion. That was probably the best documentary I had seen. Dapper Dan has been in the game for so many years, and now this man is an executive designer for Gucci.
That's dope.
Yeah, starting with making fake MCM stuff. Going from
the guy, and I know
is absolutely astonishing.
Let me add this, because I know some people may not know that when you said that name, but Dapper Dan was like the guy early from New York, Harlem, I believe, and he was the one styling a lot of the rappers. And back in the days when you would see the rappers with their designer, the Gucci jackets, bomber jackets, or hats, or even their vehicles, wrapped with stuff. It was all Dapper Dan, and he was doing it from where he was doing in New York, and it blew up as far as in that lane. But like she said, fast forward to where he is now, it's a beautiful story.
Yeah, it's an amazing story. Like just to just doing something you love and starting from the bottom, and starting with people who believed in you and were willing to take the chance, and then you just soared up to, and he didn't leave his core audience behind. If
Right.
anything, his core audience followed him.
Right. That's dope. Shout out to Dapper Dan, definitely a living legend.
Yeah.
Done so much. Who would you say like even with you, or people that look up like to you, who would you, like you mentioned Dapper Dan, who are some people can look to get inspiration from, like say people of color or people that come from the inner city that that can't see that far, where can they start, to get some inspiration to want to do something like this or do what you've done?
It depends on what it is that they want to do. I don't always think that school is necessary. I wanted to go to fashion school to learn how to sew because I wanted to save myself money.
Do people still sew? Like back in the day, I remember, you used to have your aunts and sew with the sewing machines. Do people still sew?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like where I go to get my stuff done, they have like all these factories that just dedicate them. And
I mean, like old school style. I know now it's probably, I don't know, but people used to see.
Yeah, with the same old school sewing machines.
Okay.
Wow. Like the fact that's where the money's at for real. Production.
Wow.
To be able, like, imagine, because to get stuff made is a very, very expensive. It's a very, very expensive investment. Imagine you have to start with a sample. That sample is hundreds of dollars just to get the sample made. One. Right. And then to have to get it cut. You have a cutter, you have your sewer, then you have your production person, and then you have someone in between, the grader. The grader is the person who will take your design and size it for you to the sizes that you need, because you can't just use that sample. You have to size it up, and then you have to size it up however many times you want to make it.
Right. How do you dope? How do you lock in, like you just said, finding that person, or like say what you do? How do you lock in with someone that you feel comfortable with now, that you really want to work with? Like finding the person that does your stuff how you want it, right? You have to find them. Like, I try this person, I try that person.
I'll start. When I started, I was looking for just a sample maker, so they sent me to somebody, and then I particularly didn't like that person just because of who they were, like how they acted. And the work was good, but I didn't have time to wait on you, so I moved on. So you just kind of start building connections with certain people in that industry, and then you find that person that's for you.
Okay. Dope. Is it safe to say you found that person now and you're good? You're locked in with?
So far, I work with two.
Okay.
So I do like them both, but it just depends on what I'm looking for. If they already have something that I've already had made and I just want to either change the color or tweak it a little bit, and they already have it, I'll just go back and have it tweaked.
Right. Do you do stuff like because I can see you just like doing a lot, like what you do? I know you have a website now. Do you do stuff where you interact or have like webinar like things where people can interact or see what you do, or things that where they could be
I do a couple of lives. I'm believe it or not, I can be a bit shy. So I'm working on.
You're like a natural to me. Like you that's why I can see you doing more of that.
I'm working on like starting to teach new things, or I used to have a body sculpting business, so that's where I would do a lot of my training. Like I practice every career that you have. One thing advice I will always give: every career that you have, take something from it. Take something from it and take it with you. The body sculpting taught me how to teach. Right. And it showed me how to go on camera and give step-by-step instruction.
Right. Dope. Do you see yourself on? I know you already told me earlier you do work with people and mentor. I don't know mentor, but give people game advice how to do better. Do you see yourself literally talking and speaking? You just say you're a little bit shy. Do you see yourself doing like where you can? I don't want to say setting up seminars, but people want you to come talk, or when you do have to expand your business and go talk, and can you see yourself doing those things?
I'm totally up for it. It's the first couple minutes that makes me nervous, and then after that, I'm good.
Got to get comfortable.
Yeah, that's all.
Natural, yeah. I get it. So I was the same way. I'm not naturally a speaker. Like I do good with interviews and doing stuff I love, but just talking to talk, I'm the same way.
The other thing too, you can't get, especially in a business like this, you can't go anywhere without talking.
Right, exactly.
You're gonna have to like I'm not gonna send somebody to do something for me, right, to like try to pitch something because they're not gonna do it the way I do it.
Right. They said you have amazing personality. You do. That's why I said it seems like you're a natural for this stuff too, you know, and I think you can appeal to so many people. Just the fact that you come from LA, you already know that culture, like being from East LA, like, and you know this culture, but on the same time, you can, I think, expand and cater to so many other people, like you said, the Colombians, Caribbeans, the Miami, you know, people that's how you come across. You know what I mean? So I just think you have seriously, I do see you have.
So we moved a lot. Okay. So I lived in different areas. I lived in Lincoln Heights. I lived in Boyle Heights. I lived in Rosemead. I lived in South City. So I learned to adapt to different cultures.
Right.
Throughout my childhood. So it wasn't hard. And it was never uncomfortable for me to adapt to different cultures. If anything, I made other people uncomfortable.
Right. Wow, you lived in Rosemead too. I lived in Rosemead briefly. Did you go to Rosemead High, or you just lived?
I went to Roosevelt High.
Oh, okay, went to Roosevelt. Okay.
So, yeah.
Dope. That's what's up.
But I'll be honest. If I can do anything, and with my styling, if I could take it to that next level, I know this sounds crazy. My dream is to style One Way.
One Way. Oh, because you know what, you did say One Way was your favorite group.
They're dope already. Like I've gone to see a lot of their shows. Like every time they're here in LA, I go. They don't need my help. I just want to help them for the hell of it.
That's dope. Shout out to One Way, man. One of my favorite groups too. You said you go to a lot of you get to go to a lot of shows, concerts, oldies concerts, and Peace Art LeBeau. Did you get to go to a lot of that stuff?
Yeah, I was just at the Art LeBeau. They had one for like a dedication to him in downtown LA over the summer, and then they had another one in September. There's one coming out. It's gonna be the Shy Lights. They're gonna be headlining on the 8th.
November 5th is coming up right in a few weeks. I heard about the show. I was gonna go, but I got an event. I'm doing something that same day. But I wanted to go to
those tickets. Like, 'cause I like to be in the front. Those things are flying.
Yeah, that's dope. And also, this is a small plug, but I don't know what you do on Sunday nights, but this same show right here on Sunday nights, we have an oldie show, and everyone interacts, and we do requests and play oldies, and people like it. So if you're not doing anything Sunday nights, 9:30,
I'm up for that.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. So yeah. So now moving forward for the future, what do we got coming up? Like, what's going on with your designs? And is that the name of it? Your design, Deandra Chanelle. Am I saying that right?
Yeah. So I have a holiday line coming up. It's a bunch of like gowns and like dresses and stuff like that. But again, I want to stay true to my audience. So there's some cool stuff coming up as far as how I'm going to promote. That should be a lot of fun. That's coming up in the next month or so. And then I do have the intention to do, so my birthday's in March. So I try to do something for myself.
What is that, Aries?
I'm a Pisces.
Pisces, okay.
So I want to kind of do something for my birthday where I kind of get all my artists together and then just like do a nice like party and kind of like just have all my artists dressed in the things that I've done, like kind of, you know, the Ghost of Christmas Past, Present and Future, where I just kind of put them out there and just kind of like give myself a pat on the back for getting as far as I did and to show that it's very possible to live your dreams if you want to.
Right. Speaking of costumes and dressing up, you got Halloween coming up. Are you doing anything with the Halloween? Okay.
To choose from.
Okay.
The main one is a peacock.
Okay. Had to ask. Okay. And now, well, we have all of her handles in the thing right there is to follow her. But anything else going on? Like we got your handles to follow you, but anything else the people need to look forward to that you have coming up that we did not speak on?
Yeah, just like the upcoming, just the fashion show that I plan on working on, and then my holiday line.
For the holidays, people, you got to get ready. When will that be ready? Available? When can they
That should
look?
be probably mid-November.
November. Okay.
Yeah.
And I know you said you style guys, but it's mainly for females. But do you have anything for guys? Like, can I go over there and find something for me personally, or no? Or I
So
don't. I mean, if you do have it, I don't want to make something like fit me. Like I don't.
no, so I dedicate, like, my boutique in itself is dedicated to women.
Okay.
When it comes to the styling part of it with men, it, like we go where you want to go. So basically, it's a day of shopping with me where I take away the stress of you, and you don't have to do anything. You just tell me this is what I need, this is what it's for, this is the day I need it, and then we go and we have fun with it. Or I go on my own and I show you what it is that I'm thinking, and you say yay or nay.
Okay. Okay. And the dudes like you do, I meant to ask you this earlier, but like you said, most of your stuff is catered to females. But I heard you say you style a few men, and
Mm-hmm.
with that, are those mainly like no disrespect, but like gay men or stuff, or what? Or do you?
They're
Oh,
straight. These men
okay. I
are
know
full.
in fashion that that's what that's a lot of that.
No, no,
Okay.
a lot of the guys, because they don't want the stress of having to pick something out for themselves the day they have a performance, the day they have a concert that they have to do or anything like that. So it's my job to make sure that that day that comes is stress free as far as the fashion department goes.
Right. Gotcha.
And here's the thing, I understand that my clientele, because a lot of them are like OG dudes,
Right.
right? Like real OG dudes. They're very picky. There's colors that
Right.
like there are particular fits that they like. So I'm aware of this already. So sometimes if they're telling me they want a change in it, I will try to not brighten them up, but keep their colors um organic, but at the same time switch it up just a little. So if there is like a conflict, I don't take it personal when it comes to my men, because this is newer to me,
Right.
and I understand that men are not like women. Women see something they like, it's cute. Oh my god, that's cute. Give it to me. Let me just try to make sure it fits, and we're good. Men are
Right.
very different. They have a goal in place that they want to set. So it's just my job to make sure that goal is set properly, so they're like,
That's dope. I love that you like that already what's going on and like men sort what men like. So I think that could work. That's dope. You know what I mean? You make me comfortable if I would want to do something like that. Like what I mean? Because I never was. I always said I don't think I could do this stylist thing and all that. But you
and
being that what's up, that would make me more comfortable.
you're always gonna have the challenges. And my like for me, my challenges are men and younger men. The skinny
Right.
jeans and the jeans,
Right.
it's not my specialty, but I can do it if requested.
Right. Right. Okay. All right. Got you. That's why I be like I can't do that, but it has to be some medium to meet, right? So
Yeah.
I'm glad that you get that. You know what I mean? I really am, and I respect that. Um, now, yeah. So tell the people once again every where they can get at you. I know DD's put it in there, but you personally, like, oh, this one asked too. Like just like we talked, you styling men and all that. How does one try to make that happen? Like if I wanted to, not me personally, but anyone that wants to get with you, because I know where they can go to buy the clothes and do this and that. But if say like a guy is listening and he wants you to style him, how does he make that happen? Or
So mainly my main point of communication is Instagram. So Deandra Chanelle Designs is the Instagram. And then they would DM me, and then we start communication from there. I also have a Facebook. It's just Deandra Chanel as a whole. My website, you can also, if you subscribe to the website, there's ways to communicate through the website. as well.
Right.
So if there's a chat now option at the bottom right hand corner. So when you push chat now, you're able to send messages that way.
Okay. Got it. And do you have like a YouTube channel and all that too, or just IG and Facebook? I heard you
Right
say
now,
but that could just be on IG.
I have one, but it's not completely ready to go. Like I've had a couple of things that I've done in the past, but it's not completely ready to be used yet.
Got you. They said Levi's rule. I know that's right. But yeah, so got you. So once again, Deandra Chanelle Designs, the website. Check her out on the website, the IG. She has the holiday collection coming. You know what I mean? She can style you. She can get you right. You know what I mean? Whatever the stilo she has you. Make sure you go check her out. And any shout outs you want to give, like any people, your team you work with, anyone you want to give a shout out to or show love to?
All of my clients, all of the people that have given me the opportunity over the years to show what I can do and really trust me. To my babies, for sure. My sons are my inspiration to my success story. I do want my kids to follow my footsteps if that's what they choose. Um, and to everybody who's been very supportive over the years, who's had my back, because I've changed careers quite a few times until I found my calling. And anybody who has been there through the journey, from the modeling to the body sculpting to the boutique to the styling, like I truly appreciate everyone.
Yeah, that's what's up. Well, we appreciate you. Thank you for coming on tonight. It was really incredible. I haven't done. I really learned a lot and got a different perspective, with this fashion thing, because I've always been curious, but in my own ways, and have my own questions and thoughts. So I'm glad I learned some things tonight, and I'm glad to see you doing your thing the way you're doing it, and for you to be so open, and just a lot that I learned from you too, being from where you come up at and were raised and everything, to embracing everything and incorporating that to what you do and understanding the culture as a whole and bringing it all together. I really respect that and appreciate that, and I wish a lot of success to you.
Thank you so much. And honestly, I think your platform is amazing to give up and comers the opportunity to put themselves out there and to really show what they can do.
Yes.
To get the platform to speak. Thank you for that.
Yes, it's an honor. It's an honor. This is what I love to do, and talk to people like you, people that are making things happen and doing it for the culture. So thank you again. I guess that's it. Anything else you want to put out there or add before we get out of here?
No, I think we're good. Honestly, to anybody who's trying to start, just do it. There's things
just do it.
You will always have someone who is willing to help you get through it and to teach you if you do not know.
That part. Deandra Chanelle Designs. Go tap in with her. Follow her right now. Go shop with her. Show her some love. You got to support, you know what I mean, your people out here doing positive, great things. Your people of color, black, brown. Let's make it happen. Support her. You know what I mean? She's doing it and she deserves the support. And she can help you along the way, and you can help her. We could bring this thing together. So I love what you do. Hopefully we could do it again soon when you have the holiday collection or anything else you want to, yeah. Let's do this again soon. You know what I mean? And you have a happy holiday as well. You know what I mean? Have a great holiday. Salute to you and your 2 sons. How was that too? You're raising 2 young men. You know what I mean? How was that journey for you?
Thank the Lord, I have great kids. They're not horrible children. They listen to what I say. Okay. They're very, very, very supportive of me in my career. Especially my oldest. I have an 11-year-old son that he helps me with everything, and he will definitely give me ideas. Oh, Mom, I want to make a shirt. I want to make designs. I want to do this. I want to do that. And he's very, very fashion forward. Thank the Lord, he got that from me. Right. So he knows. He knows the game of fashion, and
they have a love. They're showing a love for fashion early.
Yeah, my oldest.
Okay.
My little one, he's more of a sports guy. But okay. I hope and pray that he can follow in my footsteps and really just take it to the next level. Maybe that men's portion of the fashion, he can just take it and soar it.
There you go. That's what's up. That's a beautiful thing. That's a blessing. Salute to you and your young kings, man. And salute to you. Thank you again for coming on and giving the knowledge and being so open and just having a great personality. Everyone loved you tonight. And I think
Thank you
yeah,
so much.
I love your personality, and I think you're open, and I think you can do great things. And we're here for you to support you, and anything we can do, let us know. I would love to do this again whenever you're ready. So, thank you again for gracing my show. I really
Thank you
appreciate it.
for having me again.
Yeah, it's great. Enjoy the rest of your weekend,
Thank
and
you.
everyone again, go follow her right now. All the handles are all there in the description. Make sure you go show this lady some support. Much love and respect. We'll do it again next time. And like I said again, whenever you have time on a Sunday, you're not doing anything at night, tap in with us. We're playing oldies. Even if you just let it play, I'm sure you'll love the show.
Oh, absolutely, I will. I know it.
Okay. Thank you. And you
Thank
enjoy the rest of your evening. Much
Thank
love and respect. Thank you. And everyone else, we'll see you guys tomorrow. DD Hairston will be back for conversations in the Hookah Lounge tomorrow night. And we'll be back Sunday for Oldies Will Forever Sundays. With that being said, we're out. Peace and love, y'all.